Welcome to the Two Guys, One Coup podcast with Dale and Jim, where the truth matters and progressives' feelings don't. We bring you the facts from the perspective of two average, everyday guys who will never apologize for being America first, for adhering to our great Constitution, and for saluting the flag that our brothers and sisters have fought and died for. And now, here's Dale and Jim.
Hello, folks. Two Guys, One Coup, episode 34. What is going on? Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Jim, how are you today?
Oh, I am great.
That's good.
Well,
Much better than you were last
every
episode.
time you listen to the Biden administration talking, everybody's happy. I mean, I don't understand. So
We're all doing better, they say. We're all doing better. Even some of the administration is driving their electric cars from Michigan to D.C. and laughing about it as they pass the gas stations about how lucky they are that they don't have to stop. And so gas prices don't matter to them.
no,
We all knew this. We said this many shows ago. It's part of their agenda.
you know
Electric
damn well
cars.
we
Green
even
energy.
if they didn't have an electric car, we pay for their gas anyway.
Well, that's true.
Because I've got a story coming later that kind of gives an idea.
Stay tuned. Hey, I like your cup, Jim. Where'd you get that?
I do too. It's a really cool
Yeah.
cup.
It is a beautiful cup. I wonder where people can get those.
Yeah,
soon, my friends. Soon. That we're gonna have Two Guys, One Coup shirts, hats, Speedos. I mean, you name it.
Yeah,
It's endless.
bikini tops and bottoms, you know,
lingerie.
with Dale and mine on. Anyway,
On what, Jim?
No,
On what? Jim, sad news really for our listeners today. They have to hear us the entire show. No interviews.
no interview. Sorry.
We apologize.
I mean, we can
apologize
pretend.
ahead of time. Well, yeah, we can pretend to be anybody.
Mm.
I mean, that's
I know it's
allowed
not on the
nowadays.
agenda to talk about, but did you see another advisor to Clinton was caught? Was hung?
Yes, he was found hung with a shotgun blast to his chest.
Yep.
They ruled it a suicide.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never attempted suicide. I'm not a medical examiner. Certainly bypassed coroner college, but I'm pretty sure shotgun wound to the chest and a hanging.
They have had a
It
lot
might
of
be
people that have
suicidal.
committed suicide. Yeah,
It is. We
amazing.
all know it too. That's the sad part, Jim.
but
We
nothing's going to
all
come of
know
it. It's all going
No,
to
it
be washed
never
under.
does.
These two are the most evil, vile individuals that have ever
Oh, they
hit.
are.
That have ever hit the high-ranking office of president, and we're talking
Yeah.
about people like Woodrow Wilson and
Yeah.
some really bad
Yeah.
ones, and
Correct.
he's horrible.
Correct. It's as president, I would not call Bill Clinton the worst president we've ever
No.
had. I mean,
not
I'm
at
seeing
all.
that with right now, but
No, from a presidential
as
standpoint,
far as-
yeah.
he was okay,
Okay.
right?
Mhm,
For a Democrat. Okay,
Mhm.
for a Democrat. As far as their own, outside
Mhm.
lives, they're murderers. I mean, people know this. I mean, look back at Seth Rich. If you guys don't look him up,
Yeah.
Seth Rich.
We
It
go
was
back
a
to Vince
murder.
Foster.
It was a
We go
robbery.
all the
It
way
was a-
back to
it was a-
him.
Oh, you can. That's right. You can. So there's a lot to go back on. We all know it, but you're right. Nothing will come of it.
Mm-mm.
But
all conspiracy.
apparently,
theories. Anyway,
all conspiracy. Same. It's kind of down the same line. I think it's if you're a Democrat, you just get away with it.
Mhm.
I mean, literally get away with murder. But look at Pelosi's husband. Where's the mug shots? Where's
man's
the
the
arrest
man's a-
record? Where's the cam footage from the police?
he's a multimillionaire.
And that
He couldn't call Uber.
stop. Jim, they don't have to. They don't have to because they get away with it.
I'm
They
just glad
know
he
they're
was arrested.
untouchable.
Now, nothing's going to come of it.
Okay. Is there proof of that? He was actually locked up?
Well,
is there
that I
proof of
don't.
that?
Yeah, that I don't know.
Of course not. He wasn't
'Cause
arrested.
we're not hearing
They took
about
him
it.
in. They said, we're gonna drive you home there, Paulie. You're okay. Get in the back of the car. Like they used to do, back in the day. So,
Mhm.
they get away with it all the time. Jim, we've got stuff to talk
Yep.
about today.
Lots of stuff.
Not gonna review it ahead of time. We'll just get right into this thing. You ready?
Yep.
Let's do it. Hey, Jim.
They do.
Are you a top or a bottom guy?
Oh, I like bottom.
Jim, well, good news. You have your choice at Burger King.
All right.
Burger King, but you got to go to Austria for it.
Hmm.
But I think, I wouldn't be surprised if it said a Burger King near you soon. Burger King Austria is celebrating Pride Month by introducing the Pride Whopper, a hamburger that comes with either 2 top or 2 bottom buns. That's their big honoring of Pride Month. So, Jim, you can be a top or a bottom here.
Mm-hmm.
The new item uses mealtime to promote equal love and equal rights. I mean, nothing says I support the L people like 2 hamburger buns that are on the same. This is insane to me. The burger features 2 top buns halves, so 2 top bun halves and 2 bottom bun halves instead of 1 top and 1 bottom. I'm glad they give me the explanation of how a hamburger works here. Like we don't know how to put a bun on a ham. It appears the special burger version will only be available in Austria, but it's making headlines in the United States.
Of course.
As the fast food restaurant joins so many companies in virtue signaling during the month of June. Reactions on social media weren't entirely favorable. Even the L people community. On the company's Instagram page, one user wrote, "Some straight people come up with this and thought it was a great idea." One day into Pride Month and already exhausted. Another one said, "This is a joke, right?" Somebody else added, "This isn't the first time Burger King went public with their support of Pride Month, as every company is
Right. We have to.
forced to do. Last June, the company donated 40 cents from the purchase of every chicken sold that month. I don't even know what that is. So it's got to be a chicken sandwich.
Chicken King.
Right?
Chicken King, yeah.
Well, it's just CH''King.
Right.
It's their take on it. So it's chicken.
Yeah. Well, they have a... Never mind.
Jim, I don't know. I mean, you're the foodie here. Tell me, what is it?
Well, they
No
have a
idea.
king.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's probably the Chiking, which is their chicken version of the king.
All right. That's good
I don't know
news.
if that matters any. But I have a question. Real quick. Maybe you don't know the answer to this, but
I'll make
why
one up.
2 tops, why 2 bottoms? What's the point of it? What? I don't...
Are you familiar, Jim, with some of the L people terminology, like top and bottom?
No.
Right?
Honestly, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Jim, that is a lie.
No, I don't know. I do not know this. I'm sorry.
Jim,
I do not know it.
Jim, you're making that up.
No, I'm not. What is the 2 tops?
You're our resident
transgender person.
Sex.
This has nothing to do with
Sex.
L.
Sex.
This is the T.
And maybe the Q. I don't know what that means. Jim, so like a top and a bottom in that community is like a pitcher and a receiver.
Oh,
you're a pitcher or a catcher.
Well, yeah, okay, all right.
That's what.
But so, what is the point of the? I get that, but what is the point of the 2 bottoms or 2 tops? I don't.
I guess it's for the G's in the group. Okay. You're either a top or a bottom, right? You're either a pitcher or a catcher, and maybe you get to go there and say, "Hey, they've got a burger just for me," just because the other burgers I can't eat, so it's got to have that. At the time, Burger King insulted competitor Chick-fil-A with a tweet posting that Chick-King says LGBTQ plus rights during Pride Month, even on Sundays. Oh, you get that little dig to Chick-fil-A because,
when were their rights taken from them again? Did I miss something?
I'm moving on.
It's a serious question. When were their rights taken from them?
Listen,
Yeah. I don't get it.
I don't know. So Jim, I kind of got in this little, so on Facebook, I follow cleveland.com just to follow what's going on back at my hometown. And they put a thing on there with crosswalks being painted in rainbow colors. Okay. That's fine.
Yeah, whatever. To each their own.
But then I simply made a comment. I said, where was the camouflage crosswalks
or
during Memorial
American
Day?
flag?
Or American flag during Independence Day, or you name it, Veterans Day.
Mm-hmm.
So one triggered liberal up there made a comment. Since when were veterans ever treated poorly, and were they ever discriminated against and murdered because of who they? I'm like, whoa,
Vietnam,
bitch. Yeah, how soon we forget, right?
Wow.
But it's not only just that. It's not just that. My question was to this lunatic. I'm not disputing the fact that you can have this, but is it necessary to give veterans a day here or there and a whole month to the L people?
Right.
And that's when she came back with, all about the discrimination and all. I said, that first responders, they face trauma. Veterans the rate of suicide for veterans because of post-traumatic syndrome
stress
is unbelievable in this country. Anyways, that kind of jumped the gun, but this is my point to some of this, and I've got something else I want to get into. It's not the fact that they celebrate it. I don't care.
Who cares? I don't care.
I don't care. I don't care about that. And I'm not trying to make it a pissing contest between who has more, days. Because honest to God, the blacks get February, shortest month of the year. They could bitch, I guess. Mm-hmm. Right. So my point is that it's just thrown down at our faces and thrown down our throats. Yeah. You go to a store, you see Pride clothes for children. Like at Target and crap like that. It's like, it's just beyond ridiculous. Yeah. It's absolutely beyond ridiculous. Jim,
I'm just trying to figure out where the rights were taken away. That's all.
Jim, I'm trying to find that too. There are hate crimes that have happened. And I guess there's been people that are like, I don't like their type and I'm going to kill it. But there's people that do it with blacks, whites, Catholics, happen. Jews.
There's murders
you name it.
Arabs.
Every day, everywhere.
And obviously, if you murder somebody, you don't like that person. Or
Correct.
You wouldn't kill
Correct.
them. So, anyway, yeah, do what you want. Support.
Jim,
I don't care. But
Jim, let me... Yep.
Be who you want to be.
Let me move on with this real quick. Be who you want to be. Mm-hmm. And this goes to this next story, I guess, if you want to say. Jim, good news if you want to be a cheerleader in the NFL.
Awesome.
A biological male cheerleader who identifies as a female has been added to the NFL's Carolina Panthers cheerleading squad. Did you see this story at all or hear about it?
I can't say that I have.
You didn't?
No.
Justine Simone Lindsay made the announcement this week via Instagram, and Panthers Top Cats cheerleading director Chandelier Lonouette, I don't know how to say the name, confirmed the move. Cats out of the bag. You are looking at the newest member of the Carolina Panthers Top Cats cheerleader as the first transgender female. Now, Jim, I'm going to try. If you want to look, you can't see it. You can't see the picture. It is a dude. Okay? It is a dude. And Carolina Panthers have hired this person as their first transgender cheerleader. Now, are you okay with that?
It's not competition. They don't compete against anybody. So I could honestly care less. I really could.
Okay.
I literally could care less. If they want to do it, fine. Just, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Am I supposed to be upset with it? I really don't care.
No, Jim, I'm not asking you to be upset.
As long
it almost sounds like you don't care what I'm talking about.
Just as long as this thingy doesn't flop out when he's wearing those really tight.
Well, it's kind of suspicious in the uniform is what I'm saying to you. So it's kind of... it's kind of sometimes, like sometimes when you've seen, Michelle Obama dance with Ellen on stage, and there might be something wiggly diggly there. Kind of looks a little like this. That's what I'm saying.
Went there.
Well, I'm just saying it happened. I mean, I'm not saying I don't know, and we've all seen it.
You mean the most beautiful
Jim,
first lady we've ever had? Are you kidding me?
The most beautiful first lady we've ever had. Jim, one last thing before we move on. This is good. This is good news for you. And in your state, Indiana Town cancels family-friendly drag show after being exposed by libs of TikTok. A family-friendly, now this is in quotes, I mean, how could it not be family-friendly? Drag event scheduled to take place in Jasper, Indiana, got canceled this week after Twitter account libs of TikTok included in it the mega thread of drag events targeting kids. Pride in the Park was advertised as being an all-ages event. The flyer, which libs of TikTok shared in the post, said tips were greatly appreciated since drag is not cheap. Jim, we'll get into something there next with you. Event sponsors, Du Bois County Pride. Is that how you say Du Bois? Du Bois? I don't know.
Du Bois. Yeah, however.
Where's Jasper, Indiana, by the way? Where's Jasper, Indiana?
It's in Indiana.
Announced Wednesday that the drag show was canceled because of the backlash. Jim, too late. I don't care.
It is.
I don't care what you're saying.
I want to say north, but people are going to make fun of me. I don't know. I think it's north. I have no clue. I'm familiar with it.
County in Florida. I don't know. It's just okay. I just didn't know. We regretfully announced that due to safety and security concerns. So what does that effing mean?
Yeah,
the family-friendly drag performance planned for Pride in the Park has been canceled. They make it seem like there was going to be this backlash of people harming these people. That's how they post it.
I know.
So it makes it look like, bad straight people are causing mayhem again out there against these poor L peoples. I don't even know if drag is considered in the L group. I guess we're gonna have to add D to the letters.
We can't
now,
add any more damn letters. Just
Jim, I'm saying
maybe that's what the Q stands for.
Maybe, Jim. Maybe. Jim, what do you say? You've got some stories that kind of jump onto this.
Yeah, real quick. I just want to.
You can if you want
something similar. And this is actually very, very, very disturbing. But the Indiana Youth Group Carnival will take place this Wednesday, June 8th, which today, from 1 to 6. Actually, it probably
as when we are recording,
already has taken place.
Probably already took place
at the Indiana Youth Group Activity Center. Our community.
So sorry, everyone, for missing the event. We should have announced it earlier.
Our community's youth will celebrate Pride Month with their peers in a safe space as they enjoy carnival food, snow cones, face painting, dunk tanks, and more while playing a variety of carnival games. All that sounds, hey, that's not too bad.
It does sound family friendly, Jim.
However, this is over by now, but from 4 to 5, youth will also have an opportunity to be part of our new youth drag show. Yes, God. People, what is you heard me. Our new youth drag show. I think that's and that's Indiana. Way to go, Indiana. Anyway, if you want to be a drag, be a drag. But
leave the kids
alone. Because there was another drag show in Carmel where they were going down the street and kids were tucking dollar bills in these drag queens.
Tucking them where, Jim?
Where do you tuck? All right. So anyway, if anybody out there, by the way, if anyone out there thinks this is okay, can you please give me your address and phone number so I can call CPS and have them come to your house because this is wrong. Okay.
It's child abuse.
Children.
It's pornographic. It's like the gay parades. Like I say the gay parades. With the pride parades. I guess I'm not allowed to say gay parades. It's like the pride parades.
They're gay parades. I mean,
there's
nothing wrong with that, is there? Can we not do that now?
I don't know. Jim, I don't know. Jim, I don't know what's going to get me kicked off of some platform somewhere and hate mail and, anthrax in the mail to me. I don't know what's going to get me anymore on this.
This is incredible.
So it is incredible, but it's like that. I mean, they're like actually. There's things you can see at those pride parades that people are taking their kids to. I mean, I don't care if adults go to it. You want to see some swinging dicks? Go for it.
Go ahead.
You know, you're an adult. Do what you want to do. Yep. Again, it goes back to the children. Just leave them out of it. Yep. My God, what happened to going to Chuck E. Cheese?
Yeah, our kids can't. I mean, like, well, pretty soon Chuck E.'s going to be. Anyway, never mind.
Going to be Chelsea cheese.
Our kids can't read. Our kids can't write. Our kids,
but they can stump dollars.
They don't know how to function in life. They absolutely have no clue how to function in life. But by God, socially you know awkward. What they know? They know what a drag queen is.
They sure
so
do.
That's pretty impressive.
That's impressive because that's a lot of skills. I mean, that's going to get you far in life, you know, knowing that.
And we're putting more stress on our teachers to have to teach this other shit when they just want to teach. That's all.
A lot of them just want to teach and don't speak up. I mean, I think you all heard that with the last 4 episodes with Paige Miller, who was talking about that. It's why we're going to kind of continue, folks, with some of the school things and children things, because I think, honestly, the children they're being abused in this way and brainwashed.
And as schools get closer to starting again in August, Paige is coming back on the show, and we're hoping. Because she is fun. I mean, you saw her. I mean, she's absolutely fun. But
she just knows her shit.
If there's other people in this group like her that are just as fun, we'll have them all on. As long as we can fit them on the screen, we'll have everybody.
Yeah, it doesn't. I mean, not even just fun, but I mean, informative.
Right. Fun and that goes to
informative. I mean, just tell us what's going on out there, Jim. Let's move on to our next segment. Okie dokie.
Okay,
sounds good.
Okay.
Jim, can I say something before you start?
You can.
You start every segment with "okay,"
because it's okay.
That's
my catchphrase. Okay,
that's your catchphrase. Okay, I like it.
Okay. Anyway,
sometimes it sounds a little just like that, but I'm just saying.
Former Democrat Senator from Alabama, Doug Jones.
Okay.
Says Biden saved the economy and that he's really not doing a bad job at all.
And now we know why he's former.
With a straight face. He actually said this with a straight face.
Oh, I bet.
While on MSNBC over the weekend, former Democrat Senator Doug Jones dismissed concerns about record high gas prices and inflation, saying the economy really is not doing too bad, before calling on his party to take credit for the positives.
Interesting.
Now, he did this with host Al Sharpton, which I didn't realize he was on MSNBC. So
still, I mean, I knew at some point he had a gig there.
I figured he was in jail with all the freaking tax evasions that he had. But apparently not.
He's liberal.
Since he's a reverend, okay. He goes on to say, I think it's a messaging issue as much as anything. Rev. Messaging. Is what he said. This is exactly what he said. Okay. I think it's a messaging issue as much as anything. Rev. I think what President Biden's administration did was really save the economy. They came in with a COVID package that put some money back into the economy. God. But with everything that's gone up, that money. Anyway, they gave us money, but if you add everything else up, we're still in the hole. Anyway.
They gave you $1,200, $1,800. Now it costs me $5,000 more for gas a year. Yeah. I mean, it makes sense.
When it came back in and started doing those things to get the economy rolling. Well, congratulations. I whatever. Mm-hmm. Now, it's in contrast with how the voters feel. But he says it doesn't matter because the economy really is not doing too bad at all.
The voters aren't feeling what they think they're feeling.
That I want to add. President Biden has created more jobs than any person in history, I believe, at least in a very short time. You know, the interesting part about this, the economy is really not doing too bad at all. How many times does he have to say this? And I have said it 3 times.
And he has.
So
and
I want to add something.
Repeat it until it becomes truth, right?
I have a hard time when presidents take credit for creating jobs.
Whether it's
President Trump, President Reagan, whatever. Now, your policies affect whether jobs are created or not by the people who actually creates the jobs. But I want to go out and say that, how he states that he added more jobs than anybody in history. When you compare 2020, and then, of course, in 2021, there were more jobs. People started working again. But it was the credit to the governors of the states that basically said, I've had enough. Okay, it started in July when President Trump said, okay, we're done. We're going to start opening things up. We're going to get back and all this. So that's when it started. Okay. So as states like Florida, like Texas, then Indiana and those other states like that decided to say, okay, we're going to open back up. We're just going to get people going and keep working. Yeah, those jobs were added then. Those jobs, were added. They were refilled.
They refilled. Yeah, they weren't brand new jobs.
So that's people in San Francisco. We need to explain that to you because you're going to think this man's doing a great job.
Yeah.
And
Jim. Yeah, I think you probably noticed, and I haven't noticed 200 new factories being built in my area. I haven't noticed 72 new restaurants opening to create jobs or whatever. So so tell me what's being built out there and what companies are how he created jobs. Go on.
Now, to his to his comment and credit, he says claimed that there was a perception that the economy was doing worse because of inflation, but claimed it was not changing people's spending habits or traveling plans because wages have increased. Now, I want to say something to this because I know I said something on Monday that was controversial. But if people sit there and say $12 to $13 an hour, you can't live off that. But it's okay to say somebody can stay at home and live on welfare, where the rest of us are paying for their. No, something's wrong with this. Wages come up by competition. All right. Under President Trump, wages came up because they had to, because to get good people, you needed to keep up with what everybody else was doing. Right. Now they're just doing it to try to get people back to work.
Just to get
it has nothing to do with anything.
For positions.
Exactly. And it has nothing.
Just look at the fast food industry.
Well, yeah, but you look at it now, look at when you go to a fast food restaurant now compared to a year ago.
That's what
how much more? Yeah, how much more money are you spending? So, and that's not what this is, folks. That's not what this is. That things are happening this way because people have to do it. You got to try to get people to want to come back to work, to get back into the working class. I want to see that. That's what we need to see. And the only way I can think of it is, like I said in the last show, is cut welfare. Get them back to work. There's no reason why they can't go back to work. And it just drives me nuts. But Eric Swalwell seemed to have figured something out as I'm changing subjects.
He did. But let me ask you a question here real quick. Would you also cut the EBT program?
Oh, yeah, that's all part of the welfare system, yes.
I understand that, but it's different levels. Yeah. So you have, different payments for different.
Yeah, and I don't think I know people are going to think I'm evil and everything else, but that's not the case. It's we need to get people back to work. There are people that need to be on it for short term. I don't question that. That's fine.
But we've all run into those people, Jim, where I've been behind them in stores and we got 2 carts full of T-bones, ribeyes, and prime rib, and go out into their brand new Lincoln Navigator and put it in the back, while I'm sitting there like, well, geez, I like my ramen noodles and SpaghettiOs. I mean, like, it is crazy.
Yeah, and folks, you want to sit there and talk about poor, helping the poor and everything else. Well, one way to help the poor is to cut welfare. Get them back to work. Get them back to work. Give them a little bit of pride in their lives. Because, we're talking 4 generations.
That's the key. They're missing pride.
We're talking 4 generations of people that were on welfare. Somebody couldn't have got anyway. But we need to start doing something with that. Yep. Now, Eric Swalwell.
Go on.
You have to tell me. I didn't understand this. I didn't realize Miami and Paris could vote for a congressman in California. I didn't know that. I'm kind of impressed by that.
I'm not aware of that.
Hey,
listen, after last, you probably can vote anywhere, right?
Exactly. California,
need I say more?
California Democrat Representative Eric Swalwell's campaign dropped nearly $60,000 on travel expenses in just 6 weeks, including at the Miami Beach Hot Spot and Hotel, and then in Paris, France as well. His campaign financing records show. Campaign choice of posh hotels carrying nightly price tags between $400 and $3,700. And the committee also dished out significant amounts on airfare. Now, why would he have to be campaigning in Paris, Dale?
Well, yeah, it wouldn't surprise me that he lines up more with Paris's views than he does America, but yeah, definitely doesn't have to.
Okay,
so it's got to be against some sort of campaign finance law, correct?
I would think. I mean, AOC was allowed to pay her boyfriend all this money and then she did get in trouble, but not as in trouble as she would have got if she had an R next to her name. But I digress. Right. Now, here's something that the left, I would like to think, would get upset about. Okay. According to the U.S. Census Bureau data, the $57,094 in travel expenses the campaign chalked up between April 1st and May 18. April 1st and May 18 was only $10,000 less than the median American household salary in 2020.
Yeah, that's right. You put it that way. Yeah.
Now, look, I'm not going to go into a whole lot of detail because this stupid son of a bitch has he's just ridiculous. He's one of the problems that we have in our political scheme.
That's the guy. Remember, guys, this is the one that was having an affair with a Chinese spy too.
It's that guy.
So if he didn't get in trouble for that, this is nothing.
And I just want to say, I'm not just calling him out.
I know.
Okay, we need to look at all the politicians that are doing this, because
every one of them.
I know we mentioned this the other day, but I think we need to start looking into this. And I think instead of defunding the police, maybe we need to start defunding the politicians. One way or the other, figure it out. This is absolutely insane. This money that this guy spent, no reasons to go to Miami on campaign dollars. I can't help but think this is against the law. I just
Do you think we could find out all that information with like a FOIA document?
We should.
Freedom of Information
Freedom of Information Act. We should be able to do that.
We can fill those
out.
I wonder,
you know what? We probably should do that. Fill it out to ask for all campaign finances that is spent, because they have to document it. And they're not going to be honest on some of them. I'm just surprised this guy was this stupid.
Well, God, have you heard him? Have you heard that son of a bitch?
But
he is dumb as dirt.
I think we need to start.
Like California voted for him.
We need to start defunding the politicians, because if people on the far left, and I guess if you want to sit there and say people on the far right, they're not running our party. But the people in the middle, why don't we just ignore everyone else? Instead of concentrating on gay pride parades where youth can participate in drag shows, why don't we just sit and say, guys, maybe we need to work on something a little different here? And I don't know what else to do other than to send a message to these, assholes in Congress. And I'm not just talking Democrats, I'm talking Republicans as well. All right.
Listen, they're all guilty of something.
Ridiculous. They don't have to worry about the high gas. We pay for their gas. Half the time we probably pay for their travel, we pay for their food,
their haircuts, we pay for
what we pay for. Enough's enough. I mean, you got to get rid of the ones like the McConnells out there who there could be some really good young senators that come in, but they're going to be manipulated by someone like him.
Correct.
Because, this is the way it's done. This is what we have to do. Bullshit.
Yeah.
No more.
Yep.
No more. And I don't know what else to do other than to start the campaign, defund the politicians. I don't know.
I don't know either. I think, I agree with you. They've always talked about this campaign reform acts and crap like that. And it's all good talk. And they've talked about the term limits on them. But, and that is also good talk. And I wish it would happen, but it's never going to happen. They're never going to do that. They get into Congress, I feel, at this point, and not all of them. And I can't say that. There are some good people in Congress.
Yes, there are.
Fighting for us. There are. The problem is I think they're outmatched by the ones that aren't. These people are getting stinking rich.
Look at the 11 senators on that Ukraine bill. Only 11.
I know. Only 11 voted not to send $43 billion over to Ukraine. Is that still going on, by the way, Jim? Who cares?
Who gives a shit?
I really don't give a shit. I don't. Jim, do you want to move on to another segment?
Absolutely.
All right, let's do this. Well, jumping kind of onto your last segment about how good we're all doing, according to everybody out there, because we're all, nobody's really, what we're feeling isn't really what we're feeling, Jim.
Right.
It's all, we're only feeling this way because Fox News tells us we're feeling this way, right? That's it. Not because we go to the pump and it's costing, $100 to fill up, put $20 in your tank, or 20 gallons in your tank. But even at this point, CNN admits that the GOP, Republicans, are in the best position to win the midterms in over 80 years. What does that? Just before I even get into this, what does that tell you? Over 80 years. Now, we know when we've talked in the past, and for those who haven't paid much attention to midterms, because you should, generally the incumbent party president, the midterms will reverse.
Exactly.
So you got a Democrat president, Republicans will take the House and the Senate.
Yep.
Same thing. It's just happened time and time and time and time again. I think there's very few cases where it hasn't actually, Jim. I haven't gone back, but we might have even talked about it.
We did.
But CNN, which, this reporter doesn't look happy while he's reporting
of course.
anyways. But
they always look like they're crying.
During a segment, they do, discussing the upcoming midterm election, CNN senior data reporter Harry Enton said that Republicans are in the best position at this point in the midterm cycle in over 80 years. Now, at this point is within 6 months of the midterms.
Right.
So that's pretty strong. He said, if you're a Republican running for re-election or trying to unseat the Democrat, things are looking pretty good. I would say they're looking very good from a historical context, Enton said. So basically, this is his quote. So basically, I took the best Republican positions on the generic congressional ballot at this point in midterm cycle since 1938. The generic ballot basically, as it lists, would you vote for a generic Republican or a generic Democrat? So there's no names on there. It's not like, hey, would you vote for Dale or would you vote for Jim? It's just generic. You're going to vote Republican, you're going to vote Democrat. All right. And guess what? Since 1938, the Republican 2-point lead on this generic congressional ballot is the best position for Republicans at this point in any midterm cycle in over 80 years. Now, when you say 2-point lead, people are probably thinking, well, that's pretty narrow.
Right.
It could go back either way or not. The fact that the Republicans ever have any lead at midterms, regardless if they've won seats back or not, is historical in itself, because they don't.
Right.
Generally, it's, and especially when somebody like CNN is asking this. So it says, although CNN is claiming that, so this goes to the point that CNN is claiming that the Republicans only hold a 2-point lead currently, it's much likely higher.
Oh, yeah.
And they're basing that because of this.
It's much higher.
A poll for this reason too, a poll from Rasmussen found that GOP is leading by 8 points in a generic congressional ballot. Oh, I do too. It's crazy. The 2022 midterm elections are, as of the time this happened, so this was yesterday, 158 days away, and Republicans have an 8-point lead in their bid to recapture control of Congress. This is from Rasmussen. The latest Rasmussen reports national telephone and online surveys found that if the elections for Congress were held today, 48% of likely U.S. voters would vote Republican. Only 40% would vote Democrat. Again, I still think that's higher. Just 4% would vote for some other candidate. So that's basically, so that 4%, even if you add it on to the Democrats, are going to be, they're still going to lose, and I think that's historic, and I think we're seeing that. But maybe here's why, Jim. Gas prices soared to all-time high at $4.95 a gallon. So we're super close to $5 a gallon. Again,
in Indiana, we are.
This is as of today, guys. So today of this recording. So you're above 5, aren't you? There. I think like I said, I think I just paid $4.59. So we're helping keep that average down here in Florida.
Well, you guys cut the gas tax, right?
No, that doesn't happen until October. The month of October. Right. So gas tax gets cut month of October. Okay. Makes sense. End of tourism. Why not yank the tourists' money? So I get that. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Smart business, if you ask me. The current average is $4.95 for just your regular gas. Diesel, the average is $5.71, and you told me diesel was up above $6 in your area, correct? Mm-hmm. It just keeps going up. Yesterday it was $4.91, so it's gone up 4 cents. A week ago it was $4.67. A month ago it was $4.31. A year ago it was $3.06. This is crazy to me. And then they just got the long list, Jim, of every day where it's gone, starting from May 10th up to, if I'm not mistaken, up to today. So on May 10th, gas on average was $4.37 a gallon, and now it's at $4.95 a gallon. Since May 10th, it's less than a month. And it continues to climb every day. I think we said at one point, Jim, that 8-day climb was the old record. I mean, I think we're up to like 20 days now or something, that it keeps going up.
This is vacation time.
So Joe's breaking records. But guys, good news. Jim told us on his last segment that everything's going good. Yeah. We're not feeling it. We're not feeling it at the store. We're not feeling it at the pump. We're not seeing it in our electric bills. Our utilities aren't going up. Nothing's going up. It's all smoke and mirrors, guys. It's the Republicans' plan to make you feel like you're struggling when you really aren't. Just listen to the Democrats, because that's what they said. Jim, do you want to add anything to this segment? That's all I had for this one. Just kind of tell you some of that information on the polls and where we stand.
Yeah, I don't buy it's even that close. I don't see how it can be.
There's no way.
There's
no way it's that close.
I don't see how it can be. I mean,
there's no way. No way, Jim.
And obviously everybody out there who listens to us and understand this. This administration is going to do a couple things to make everything look better. And so they're going to pretend like this is going to happen after we win back, vote for us, and we're going to make sure this continues. And then it's not. It's going to go back to the way it was. That's what a lot of them do. All right. They give you the false promises that this is what's going to happen. So they're going to forgive student debt. Okay.
Oh my God.
Now, as I say that, yes, they're going to get some people that are going to vote for him because of that, saying, "Oh God, thank God, I don't have the student debt." But the people who are on the border of deciding who to vote for, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I just spent $100,000. I paid off my $100,000 student loan.
Yep.
And I don't get anything.
I gotta pay yours off?
Yeah, and I don't get anything. I got to pay yours off now. And then the people.
What about those who didn't?
Yeah. Didn't go to school.
Didn't go to school. That are going to be paying for their student debt.
So they're going to try to get, but it's going to end up backfiring. So but they're going to do something with gas prices. Whether it's releasing another 1 billion barrels or whatever from the reserve. And that
it'll come down before midterm.
It will. And some of the states will bring it down just to bring it down, just so they can kind of, say, hey, look, this is what we're doing.
Yep.
But, don't fall.
But the problem is now, Jim, it could come down to $4.50 a gallon, and you think you're saving money now.
Well, but
you're like, wow, a 50-cent drop, man. It's great.
Here's the problem: is how many people are going to sit there and say, why couldn't we have done this sooner then? Why do we have to do it around election time? I hope people are smart enough to understand that. I really do. But
it's an election ploy. It always is.
All I know is just watch the COVID stories, folks. Just watch them. because now we got the administration wanting the judge to remove or to bring back the mandate on planes to wear masks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We're starting to see some things like that. So they want these ballot drop boxes. They want the mail-in voting.
They do.
They want
They
it.
do.
And
they need it. Not they want it. They need it.
And so then you got to ask yourself a question. Why do they want it?
Which is, well,
I mean, there's
Jim. Can I tell you something real quick here before we move on? This just in, kind of breaking news, sort of on today. By the time you hear the recording, it won't be, but today it is. Man with gun arrested near Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh's home. Did you?
Yep.
Okay, I just saw this. Told police he was there to kill Kavanaugh.
Yep. But that's okay.
That's what this is. Yeah. This is, and this was absolutely, again, guys, this is the protesting going on over the abortion rights bill and all that. This is what's happening. This is why Peter Doocy at Fox News has asked time and time again from the stupid ass press secretaries, is he going to condemn this? Is he going to tell people not to do this? Is Biden going to say, get away, quit protesting? It's illegal in Florida to do it now. Ron DeSantis signed a law saying it's illegal to do this. Will President Biden do this? Nope. Don't give a shit.
Well, they want, I'm sorry, and I know this is going to sound really bad, but
probably
they want conservative judges to go away.
Removed.
They want them to go away so they can, and just picture this administration right now with a 6-3.
Oh my God.
Supreme Court.
Oh my God. Imagine the hell we'd be in. Jim, do you want to move on to our final segment of the day? Yep. All right, let's do it.
I have a story that for everybody out there who thinks it should be fair for Leah Thomas to be able to compete against women.
A transgender. Back to transgender.
Well, I think this is important to read, and I think this
I wouldn't doubt it.
Woman's story is very, very important because this is what we are talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Madison DeBose, I think that I pronounced that right.
Probably Dubois. It's probably French.
The
S is silent. You're French, aren't you?
Well, but I only know the EAU type of thing. Now, here's what she says.
You're Cajun. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I can take a few bumps and bruises. After all, I signed up for this. Playing college sports is a privilege, not a right. Losing sleep, missing classes because you're traveling, taking care of some muscles, and maintaining a strict training regimen. They're all part of the game when you're a collegiate track and cross-country athlete. But what I signed up for was running against similar advantaged competitors, other women. What I have experienced and seen repeated across the nation is a different story, and it's why I'm speaking out. I was born into a family of college athletes in Ohio, and I ran my first race at the age of 5. Running had my heart ever since. In high school, I was a 3-time All-Ohioan for cross-country and 6-time track All-Ohioan. The allure of the West drew me to Southern Utah University, and after meeting the track coach and the girls on the team, I fell in love with my new family away from home. I'm heading into my senior year at Southern Utah and run cross-country and track in the fall and winter and spring. That's too much running. But anyway, specializing in events such as the 1500.
Somebody chasing her?
1500 meter, the 3K steeplechase, and the 5K. Competing at this level takes every ounce of your dedication and energy, but it is also so rewarding to play the sport you love. At my time at Southern Utah, I, along with my teammates, have set the school record in the distance medley. At the 2022 Big Sky Outdoor Track and Field Competition, I scored in the 3K steeplechase and the 5,000-meter run. This year, I was also able to break into the top 10 list in the 1,500-meter and the 5K. This is an impressive young lady, as well as reach the top 5 in the 3K steeplechase. I woke up every day that excited that I know I'm running on, but finish that I have privileged of training my body to become stronger and faster. I also now realize the fragility of fair competition and how easily it can be taken away from female athletes. One day at my practice during my freshman year, our coach told us that another team in our conference had an athlete who had previously competed on the men's team, who now identified as female and would be competing against us. Now, here's the kicker. The biological male runner had posted the same time in the 1,500 meter as the fastest woman in the world.
Oh, my God.
In that event.
Yeah.
Now, it was my teammates and I who were being forced to compete against someone who has already broken the female record. At the Indoor Sky Championship in 2020, I started the distance medley relay for our team, and the biological male runner anchored the relay for the University of Montana. That's when we heard the athlete's coach say something no one expected to hear. Slow down. Slow down to give the appearance. Slow down to give an appearance of a fair fight. I suppose is what she said. But we watched as the athlete went on to take first place in the mile, replacing the female runner on the podium. When you show up at a conference meet and see a biological male athlete towering over you, way more muscular and with a completely different build than any female on the starting blocks, is it at first surprising, then quickly disheartening and even heartbreaking? How do I stand a chance despite my nearly 2 decades of training for this moment?
Yep.
So she goes on to say this, but I just wanted to add, this is what you and I have been talking about. That was a good story, Jim. This is what you and I have been talking about all along. I don't care if Leah Thomas wants to become a woman. I don't care. Okay? Nope. I will call you Leah. Some people won't, but I'll call you Leah. I'm not going to call you a woman. Okay?
That some people would be
but I'll call you Leah, but I'm not calling you a woman. Mm-hmm. And I don't even know if you go through the whole thing to get rid of everything and to have women parts. I don't know if I'm still going to call you a woman then, but that's another issue for another. That's another discussion for another day. But the point of the matter that we're trying to say is Title IX, women have been pushing so hard on this Title IX to get equal quality, equal review. And now they're letting all their records be beaten by men who want to be women. Yep. This guy,
without a peep from the feminists out there.
This guy set the world record against the fastest woman in that event in the world.
Yep.
And he's competing at a college track competition.
Yep.
Correct. And the coach telling him to slow down, which we all know that we also suspect that the events that everyone wants to tell us that, Leah Thomas lost by this much. Well, did he?
Did he really?
Or did he slow down?
Yep,
so,
correct.
I don't know. All I can tell you is, guys, this woman's story, this is what we're worried about. These women, these are the ones that we're worried about. It's just, you can't compete. It's not fair. And we always talk about fair, right? The left. How many times do we have to hear it? You got to be fair. We got to be fair. Okay, let's be fair. Let's be fair. Yep. So, bless her heart. Bless all the other women out there that are competing
working
your ass off.
Jim.
If you finish second to a biological male, you won.
You came in first.
You won.
You came in first.
I don't know
the problem is they're not recognized as that. Yep. I don't know how. It's got to be. Boy, the NCAA is just a terrible organization.
And if you say stories,
so inconsistent.
If people out there are watching, going out anywhere, looking at stories like this and see stories pop up, send them to us. Send us to our,
we'll talk about
Two Guys, One Coup at gmail.com. Send it to us. We will read it because we want to honor these hardworking women. Hey, look at us. Hey, we're defending women. Yeah, we're defending women. Because it's not right
like everybody should
for a competitive male, biological male, to compete against women. It's just not right.
Well, you know what? That's just not newsworthy, Jim. Stuffing dollars, kids stuffing dollars down drag queens, G-strings. That's the stuff that's important in the world.
And the last thing I want to add real quick, it's kind of a changing thing. Okay, if anybody ever heard of the Proud Boys?
I have.
Okay. Well, 5 of them were indicted.
I've met some of them.
5 of them were indicted.
I've actually met some of them.
Okay. Now, this was on MSNBC, right dead center. Right dead center. Not gas prices, not inflation. This was right dead center because 5 members of the Proud Boys were convicted All right, or indicted. Excuse me. They were indicted
because of
January 6th.
The hoax.
Right.
Yep.
So because of tweets that they were sent about. Now, is this a angry group? Absolutely. This is an angry group. Is it a group that I would want to sit here and say, I'm going to be a member of? No. I wouldn't be. I would not.
But I have met them.
Yeah. I would not follow them. I would not want to follow them.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever you hear a group referred to as a neo-fascist or neo-Nazi, that is not far right. Yeah. That is not far right. Far right, far right's basically anarchy. Okay, yeah, fascism, which everyone wants to say Hitler. Remember, fascism? Oh, that's a right. Yeah. No, it's not, because that has nowhere in like what conservatives believe. It's not. Mm-hmm. So what they're trying to do, and I only bring this up because I need people to understand, they're trying to say that this is what Trump's people are.
That's what. Yes,
they want to say we are all Proud Boys. Is what they.
Jim, want. they showed up at Trump's rallies. Mm-hmm. That's where I first came across the Proud Boys. Was at a rally in Orlando with my brother-in-law Billy. We went to his rally down there when he announced he was running. That was the night he announced he was running for re-election. Mm-hmm. Phenomenal event, by the way. I mean, there's no party like a Trump party, but that's where I met them. So they show up there, which gives the impression that Trump supports these guys or Republicans support them, and like every group, there's probably something they do that's right. But some of they're just not my kind of guys.
They do want smaller government. All right, they are pro Second Amendment. Okay, so those things, they do fall under a conservative viewpoint.
Which isn't fascist, by the way. But
it's not. Yeah. But again, it has to be labeled this way. Now, we can't label BLM as a terrorist group. We can't Antifa as a terrorist group, but Proud Boys they can.
Sure can.
Now, here's my biggest problem. Okay, you all remember the Georgia, the Marjorie Taylor Greene, the representative?
Yeah.
Okay. Here's how this gentleman, Jahan Jones, who wrote this for... by the way, this was the lead center story, and it's called the Readout Blog. Yeah. They had a blog story right dead center. Now, and Morning Joe was off to the right. Morning Joe was on the bottom, but this guy was dead center because it was Proud Boys.
Yeah, Jesus.
Here's how he refers to Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene. Far right Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Yeah, of course. Far right.
And they also referenced a tweet from fellow extremist lawmaker, Republican Lauren Boebert from Colorado.
Man. It's ridiculous.
Now, all of these individuals said,
of course.
So please understand this, because Georgia, she's already clear. Okay. There's no findings on this thing. All they did was tweeted, I support their right to protest on January 6th.
Yep.
Okay? Because what the protest was about was the vote, the election. Because they felt this group that got together, that the election was stolen, that the election was not right. It was not a valid election, so they were trying to delay the vote. So all the conservatives...
Only they felt that.
Correct. Well, I want to be careful if this ever gets on YouTube. So
we will not comply, Jim.
I know.
We decided.
I know. I'm just kidding. But this group that is there on January 6th, that was their point. Just the protest. So when these politicians from the Republican side sat there and said, yeah, they have a right to protest. So all of a sudden now we get this run on the Capitol, right? Where you only see the front door. You don't see the side door where the Capitol Police open the door and let everybody flow in. You got to watch those videos, people. And it wasn't as violent as what they want to make it seem, because there was no resistance at all when these people got in there.
Jim, can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
I've said it 100 times, and I want people to pay attention to, because we weren't even going to really talk about it, but the hearings are starting, and they're going to be on prime time for everybody to see with that bullshit false congressional team of people, and that includes Liz Cheney and Adam Kinzinger, two absolute disgusting Republicans.
That's it.
There. That's it. That's the only two on the whole thing. We've said it 100 times. The Capitol building, to me, was the most, or at the worst, second most secure building in our nation. These people that broke in had flagpoles and sticks and signs. How do you get in the second most secure building in the United States with doors that weigh thousands of pounds, that are magnetically shut, that can only be released from the inside on a lock? Yeah. How do they get in? How did they break into the Capitol? I know I say this a lot. I just want to keep saying it as this hoax of a congressional hearing trial gets played across the nation on primetime, which people really don't give a shit about anymore, by the way. Just remember that. Yeah. Remember the FBI informants that were in the crowd. Ask yourself who Ray Epps is. Yep. Look them up, people. Just look into figure it all out. Sorry, Jim. I didn't mean
absolutely
to
because you know
onto your thing.
Have followed
it's just
this.
Pissing me
you
off.
Have followed this a lot. Yeah. You really have.
I have. I haven't talked about it because it's a bunch of bullshit.
We keep talking about it, but the one thing we always go back to, and I'll say this right up front, guys, and I don't believe in rioting of any kind. So these individuals, if people had, and I'm sure there were people involved in this group that had bad intentions, okay? They need to be punished, and they need to be thrown in jail, fined, whatever you do for this type of thing. They need to go, okay? That is the point. The
problem is, Jim, there are people in jail today who literally just followed the crowd and walked in once they opened the doors. They were inside doing nothing.
Right.
And all of a sudden, they are 16 months in jail for what is truly a misdemeanor, and they're being held.
But
these people's lives are ruined over this hoax bullshit from the Democrats.
President Trump and a lot of people in his administration and his staff are in trouble on this. Okay, there's indictments going out for that because they're saying that he fueled this. Okay. Well,
again, more bullshit.
Okay, let's just say for the sake of argument that's true. It's not. But let's say for the sake of argument, it's not true. So if that's the case, the one incident that we had where it could have been deemed the right, caused this riot, caused this infiltration. What about all the Nancy Pelosi's, the Chuck Schumers, who denied the riots were going on in Minnesota, in Oregon, Washington, California, Chicago. They denied it. As a matter of fact, some of their comments could have spurred it on. Where are the hearings on that?
That's right.
But we're not going to touch that because I guarantee you there was a hell of a lot more of those type of riots than there were this one. Guys, this is for one reason and one reason only. They want to make it to where Donald Trump can never run for president again.
That is exactly
all
what
this is. It has nothing. They don't give a rat's ass if these Proud Boys go to jail.
They don't care.
They could care less. Nope. All they want to do is spend money. And by the way, go back and look how much money has been spent on this. It's absolutely phenomenal.
Of your money.
It's like I said, you got to defund the politicians so we can stop this. Because I'm going to be honest with you. With this first reporting on the Sussman during the Durham report, at this point in time, stop. No more money spent because it's going nowhere.
No more.
Okay, we know what happened. Nowhere. Let it go. Stop spending money on this shit because it's a waste of freaking money. So
let the private sector, let people who are investigating these things, let them go ahead and do it. But at this point, enough with the congressional. There's a congressional hearing for every damn little thing that happens around here. Congressional hearing for this, congressional hearing for that. Nothing ever comes of it on either side, Republican or Democrat. Nothing. They wasted so much money on 2 impeachments of Trump over hoax bullshit stuff. For what reason? No reason whatsoever. Just because they didn't
remember,
like
he was impeached over something that the current president actually admitted to when he was vice president of the United States.
Correct.
Where he also referenced that he had the approval of the president.
That is correct.
Obama.
Oh, Barack Obama.
So
that's right,
guys. Open.
It's all bullshit.
Yeah, it's January 6th. I will never condone rioting. I don't. I never will. Okay. Well, okay. I did in 1776 because at that time we needed to. Maybe. Okay. But all they did was.
A lot of people felt this was their 1776.
Yeah,
though,
I know.
Because
I know. A lot of people did because
what happened?
Look, I know the left don't care because as long as they get as many transgender out there in public and in positions of power, they don't give a shit. They really don't. I'm telling you. They don't care about gas prices. They don't give a shit about the economy. They don't give a shit about that. They only care about so they want so and so to compete against women and that should be okay. Or they want us to pay for the surgeries for them to become a woman to become a man and the man to become a woman. They want us to pay for that. Well, bullshit. No more. We have to start. Or
they want your AR-15.
Yeah, well,
that's what they care about.
I got another thing on that one is that again, let's negotiate. Let's build the wall. Keep the fentanyl from coming in. Let's make it where teenagers cannot have a car in the car or won't start. You have to, some of these people who've been DUI, they have these breathalyzers. You have to breathe in it before the car will start. So why don't we do that? Okay, if you guys want to do this and say, okay, we're going to 99.9% of the responsible gun owners, we're going to take the AR from them. Fine. Shut the border down. Shut it down. Keep that fentanyl or these gangs from coming in. Drugs.
That's right.
We have more people dying of that than of guns. And look at Chicago. Just look at Chicago. One of the most strict laws in this country. So when you say you want to have gun control, what you're saying is you want to take guns away from responsible people, okay? You want to take them away from responsible people, and the bad people are still going to have them.
Yep.
There's my soapbox. Well, I got to jump off.
Well, no. Yeah, no. I mean, it's the same thing. It goes back to we kind of preach the same thing, but I mean, it's always aren't drugs illegal? Yet illegal drugs get in. So you make guns illegal. Geez, that'll just eliminate everything, won't it? No, it doesn't. It doesn't. We all know that. I mean, and most people listening to us who follow us probably agree with that. We haven't gotten quite the liberal, fan base that we want yet. So
we'd like
we're
to.
Trying. I
want to get called worse than Dick Reed. I mean, come on, you guys can do better than that.
Oh my God, I know.
Oh, by the way, can we do I'm seeing all this phobia. Okay.
Yeah.
Can we do I was going to say normal phobia, but then people would come back and say, well, that was not a right term, normal phobia. But can we call heterophobia? Is there heterophobia out there?
Heterophobia. I mean, there is now.
I think there should be because that's what these people are of us. They're afraid of us. They have this heterophobia, and they are actually scared of us.
That's right.
We're not scared of them. They have rights. There's laws in place to protect them. Are there people upset with them that who they are and maybe being a little violent with them? Yeah, and I don't condone that at all. That should never happen that way. But it's the other way too. We have people dying every day, and it has nothing to do with who you are, what sex, what color. Well, some instances it does. But all I'm saying is I don't get this rights thing. They have rights.
Yeah.
They have them.
They have rights. And to my knowledge, nobody's out there bashing. I don't see a bunch of gay people just getting the shit beat out of them on the streets. I mean, I don't even get it. Yeah, okay. Those stories you hear about are, this baker's not going to bake a cake for religion. Then move on to the next baker. Yeah. I mean, come on already.
But you're infringing on his rights not to do that.
They don't give a shit.
I know.
They don't give a shit.
That's the problem.
I deem August hetero.
You know what? Let's do that. August is hetero Pride Month.
Hetero Pride Month. Yep. Be proud of who you are. White Christian, black Jew, white Jew, Muslim.
Guess what?
As you're heterosexual.
As long as you respect August as heterosexual month, if you're gay, you can participate. We don't care.
You can.
And support us.
But if you go against us, though, you are heterophobic.
Support us. Support us in our claim that we don't want our children to go to drag shows. I never thought ever that I would have to sit here and say that. Never thought we
Jim, before we sign off for the day, have you ever been to a drag show?
No, I have not.
I can say I have.
Yeah.
I was at one in New Orleans.
Probably a good one.
The whole family went to one. It was quite the show. That's all I can say. The men's bathrooms had no doors. This place.
Well, do we really care anyway?
Well, it's just a little weird. That's all I'm saying.
Watch while I whip
That's all I was saying. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. But this was adults only place. You want to go to a drag show? Have
exactly.
You think I'm dragging a kid to one of those things? It's ridiculous. Jim, great show as usual. Yeah. Thank you for your participation. Thank you, everyone, for your support. Follow us this week again on Rumble, or this episode again on Rumble. Jim, I think, what are we, still a week?
I think next week we can. It's 4 weeks?
No. It's
then next week we should be able to get on.
We shall say. But anyways, not YouTube yet. Follow us on, but go back and listen to all the episodes that are still up there before they take them down. Follow us on Rumble. Follow us on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, on Stitcher, anywhere you hear podcasts. Our Facebook page, which continues to grow slowly but surely. It certainly isn't growing as fast as I want, but invite your friends to it. 2 guys, 1 coup. You can participate. I don't know if people are just thinking, okay, the Facebook page is just going to be more listening to these 2 yahoos spew off their crap. You can post, you can comment, you can do whatever you want on it. It's public. You can send it to whoever you feel like out there. But it's 2 guys, 1 coup. Maybe they don't know how to spell it. COUP.
The number 2.
Yeah, guys.
Well, right behind your head.
Number 1.
2, the number 2, guys. GUYS, the number 1.
1.
COUP.
Facebook. Just look it up there. And follow us on TikTok.
Make sure you put the O in there.
Just do yourself a favor. Done by design, by the way.
Make sure you don't forget the O.
I'll tell you a little quick backstory. Jim and I are sitting in a bar. We're having some bourbons. We're talking about maybe doing a podcast finally. Out comes 2 guys, 1 coup. Based on something else that we don't have to talk about.
I don't want
to talk about. But out came that, and we said, well, sure, that sounds great. Let's do it. Give us another bourbon, And here we are. 34 episodes into our illustrious careers,
and I can tell
as podcasters.
And I'm going to say this because I think it's very important to say it. Mm-hmm. If we could just have a world that it's a Dale and Jim world, I'm telling you, it would be fun.
Oh, it's better than Willy Wonka's chocolate
exactly.
Factory, my friend. I'm telling you, it would be fun.
So let's all push towards the Jim and Dale. That's another push. We got Hetero Month of August.
Hetero Month is August.
Heterophobia.
We've already declared that.
Because all those people that are against it, heterophobia, they're scared of us.
Yep, exactly.
And also, let's push to be in a Dale and Jim's world.
Yeah,
like Wayne's World.
I agree.
Except it's Dale and Jim's world.
That's right.
Where George Strait's always playing.
Yeah, I'm done, Jim. I'm gonna edit out anything you say about George Strait. He's gonna be edited out of this show. I have complete control.
I dare you to listen to him and not feel better. I dare you.
Oh my God, it makes me ill.
Because Dale, gotta understand. Does Fort Worth ever cross your mind?
Never.
Great song, by the way.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say never. I mean, not often, at least.
Because if you ain't loving, you ain't living.
Jim, we're done. I've had enough. Guys, thank you again. I've already reviewed how to get a hold of us. Please do it. Everybody have a good weekend. Jim, you have a phenomenal weekend. And we'll see you all back here next Tuesday. All right?
Bye.
Jim, adios, my friend. Bye.